4 minutes.
All right. To those just tuning in, we're getting ready to unbox this swag bag from Heat Transfer Warehouse recent event, Wallapalooza 2023.
You gonna do that live?
Yep. Actually doing it now. I'm just waiting on people to come on, showing a little bit of stuff.
Don't mind me if you have to in the background.
Nah, they don't care. Barb, what's going on? How are you doing? Came on to unbox this swag bag. I'm waiting for a few people to get in, then we'll talk about it. Hopefully you're having a blessed, productive day and all is going in your favor. All these vendors were here. DTF Station, Epson, Bella Canvas, Silky Socks, Sawgrass, SUPACOLOR, ISW, which is Cryo if you guys don't know. Shouts out to everybody that attended, all the influencers that came. Google, Pinterest, Jennifer Maker was in the building. What's going on? Andre, how you doing, man? We have an awesome interview about to drop pretty soon on Andre's channel, so make sure you guys subscribe. This event was off the hook. So as you guys see, I'm back at the shop. And I'm waiting on a few folks to come in so we can unbox this swag bag. Andre, did you go through your bag already? It's a lot of stuff in there. PM St. Louis, how are you doing this evening? Polytape was in the building. Came through with all types of stuff for us to look at and try and experiment with. Specialty materials. Shimika was also in the building, which I've been calling them Chemica for forever. So I talked to somebody and they was like, well, it's Shimika. Alright, let's try to set you guys up. Alright. How's the weather? Barb just came in from Weeding Veggie Gardens. Hey, pick peas and some beans. Yes, that's what's up. So I had a trip recently to Wallapalooza, Fargo, North Dakota. Andre was in the crowd. What's going on, James? Customs Journey. It was off the hook. Shout out to Heat Transfer Warehouse. Greatly appreciate you guys for having us there. And we are here to unbox the swag bag, which was held at Brew Holla in North Dakota. Everything was personalized, had our names on it, which some of the merch in here also has a name on it. And we're gonna get into it. I had Shimika and it sucked. Uh-oh. What did you have from Shimika? You got some vinyl, some printable vinyl, some of their twill. Yeah, I went through the bag. I like the message in the coffee cup. Okay. I actually went through the bag myself, but I had to repackage it for you guys, just so I can unbox it and show you what was all in it. They had one last year and an even bigger one this year. The last one from last year was like a crossbody strap. It was filled and packed. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this. Also, shout out to Bella Canvas, Caesar, all the guys over at ISW. So first thing that's going to come out is this cup, which I was excited about. It's got a little theme on it. They also included some stickers that you can add to this. And there's some of the people that sponsored the actual event. And this is sublimation on here. This is not a sticker, but they do have a place where you can put the sticker on it. Pretty slick cup. Of course, Wallapalooza swag or merch right here, which had everybody's name on there that was at the event. Levi, what's going on with you? So many names on the back. Pause that there, you guys can see. Try to get a little bit closer. This event to me was hands down one of the best. You could tell the improvements that they made from last year, and they paid attention to detail. HTV, yeah, Shimika, they had a couple of different HTVs that I seen there. I was fascinated with some of the stuff that I did look at. Weeder from Caesar, shout out to Patrick, greatly appreciate you. Different weeder tools. And I'm going to set all of this stuff down, and at the end of this video I'm going to go back so you guys can actually see some bristlets. Take me back to when I was like 12. So right now, Levi, I'm unboxing this swag bag that I got from Transfer Warehouse / the Wallapalooza event. Sublimated mug. I think it has crafting camp, speaking and sponsor opportunities. Hey, check that out. Craftable things, how are you doing this evening? Just unboxing this swag bag. So Bella Canvas had a couple of things in here, and so did Lane 7. What was the biggest change from last year? The event. I say that they've grown, and they're definitely listening to everyone, you know, that's coming through, like the influencers to these different events. They also upgraded the education this year, and the overall experience was muy bueno. Bella Canvas right here. Nice. So to some of you guys out there that was also in attendance, how do you guys feel about Wallapalooza this year and some of the different upgrades? Postcards, which they gave us an opportunity to mail some of these directly from the event, and I did just that. I mailed my mom, I believe, a couple of these postcards. You know, some of the scenery. Well, let's talk about Brouhaha. Brouhaha was off the hook. Another from out the swag bag, another Bella Canvas shirt. I mean, this bag was packed. We had stuff, all types of stuff on there. Craftable things, it was great. I feel like we connected more than last year. We learned a lot more also. I feel that way as well. Just the segment with the copyright and trademark, phenomenal. I recorded the whole thing, and I will be re-airing it. I got it live though, y'all. And hopefully you can hear it. I tried to have it to where the audio was a little bit clear so you guys can hear it. But I didn't have a professional camera system to get it either. Oh, bucket cap. Which y'all know I wear the baseball caps. I don't know about this, but this is still fly. And it's embroidered. Everything was branded with the kangaroo from Heat Transfer Warehouse. I just gotta give them a shout out again because they really paid attention to the swag bag. Not only that, they had like personalized snacks inside of this bag. They ask you to fill out forms, and you can, you know, either chocolate, candy, whatever it is that you want. Name badges. This right here, which was super awesome, came with a quote on it. This is a notebook. Kind of reminds you of the Compose books, the Compass book that you would get. That's the actual design on there. But on the back, it has a quote from Martin Luther King. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutiny, tied in a single garment of destiny. Look at that. It's awesome. I like the chocolate store you showed. Oh, that was Rocky Mountain chocolate. I try not to eat sweets, but when we walked through the airport and seen that and smelled the chocolate, it was something we had to stop and experience. So I guess from the pictures it looked like I visited a donut shop as well. That was actually at Wallapalooza, and that was breakfast one of the days, and I had took a picture. Yeah, I love this book. It was just well thought out. And I gotta say a special shout out to Brooke. Brooke she holds us all together, and she's really attentive to the needs that people need, like right down to, I missed my flight going into Minneapolis by 1 minute, so I couldn't get through the gate, which pushed me back. Like, I didn't end up getting to the hotel till like 1 o'clock in the morning because of me missing that flight. But I was able to get a hold of Brooke, and she was like, well, they'll still have a taxi or some type of shuttle from the airport to the hotel, so you guys should be covered. She really pays attention to detail. Shout out to Donish. Silky socks was also in the swag bag. And then I have a couple of extras because they had tables full of stuff. And the agenda, which I showed in the beginning. But let's talk about Bruhala, the place where the event was actually at. I've never been to a brewery like that, where it had hotels and it had so much stuff going on. So the middle floor was private, and it was reserved for everybody that was coming through to the Wallapalooza event. Once we got up there, there was cameras going, there was interviews going, there was different vendors that were up there. From Bella Canvas, shout out to Wes, to Polytape, to Shimika, like I've said before, to Caesar. So it was well planned. They had like a speed date type thing going on, or a speed interview situation going on, however you guys would like to call it. The beer was good too. What was you drinking? I had a drink, forgive me, I don't know what the name of it was, and it was one. Then I got dizzy and had to go lay it down. My hypertension was kicking in. That was everything that was in this bag right here. That was a lot of stuff, and I'll go back over and show you guys at the end of this video what was all in here. So Bruhala is, like I said, it's a brewery, and it's held by Draker, if I'm saying their name right, in Fargo. And I'm telling you, this building is an amazing space. Hopefully they have it there again next year. I'm not too sure, but it's a great place to have an event. So I'll go through the itinerary with you guys, and then I do have videos coming out aside from the lives, where I actually walked around and, you know, spoke like I do into the camera. But the first day we had got there, everything starts at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and the event usually takes place from 8 all the way to 7 p.m. with various breaks in between. And around 8:45 was the vendor meet and greet, which was slick, and that's all the vendors that I was just telling you guys about. That's where we were walking around and talking with them. Andre says, I think it was orange mango something. Yeah, that's the same one I had. It was definitely different. The taste was something I never tasted before. I can't remember the name. It was too many different ones. And that's the beauty of being at a brewery, especially if you guys are alcoholic drinkers or if you like to try different beers and switch it up. It was an experience, definitely was. So on that first day, our lunch was like 11:45. All the food was good this year. I have been on a lifestyle change for a while, so a lot of the stuff I tried to watch and not eat, but I couldn't help myself. It was private chefs there, so they got us together. The first big meeting was the business Google meeting, and which a representative from Google has spoke to us about, how to basically use Google to help us as influencers or how to capitalize off of putting the material out. So that was super helpful. And the guy was super honest and he answered questions at the end. It was awesome. So I got to give them their flowers for that, because not often, a lot of times, can you go speak to a Google or a Pinterest or, even Epson of that matter. Which I have secured them, and they will be on the Squad Creative Podcast, so y'all be looking out. We do have them scheduled, which I can't wait. Super excited. The auditorium is where a lot of the event took place, and it was I think it was well prepared. Craftable Things, how do you feel about it? Andre, y'all chime in. Y'all was there with me. Like, just the event learning, everything that they put into this to make it successful. So now I'm going to talk about more of the vendors that was there, because I didn't speak on them. Vincent from DTF Station, which if you guys watch any of the All-American Print Supply videos, you would always see Vincent with Esteban, and they're doing like different things to pump the direct-to-film community. One of the things being the A3 Prestige, which is a new DTF machine that's came out recently, and one I would like to try out. Epson, we spoke with Todd, Matthew, and Mike. Mike, I believe, or no, it's either Matthew or Mike invented DTG, direct to garment, like invented it. So that's going to be a nice in-depth conversation. I spoke with them a little bit off to the side about us coming and having an interview, and they were like, yeah, we could definitely do it. Craftable Things, it was an amazing opportunity, and I felt honored to be invited. The vendors were really transparent and genuinely interested in what our viewers want. That they were. Very, very, very. They were, I want to say, locked in. They were listening, which is awesome. To be on the other side of the computer screen, I say this. I'm not the hugest influence. I consider myself a micro influencer. I don't even consider myself that big. But for them to listen to our opinions and actually put them into play, that let us know that it's a promising future with all of these companies, especially if they're willing to change just to help your audience. A lot of times you would think companies won't want to hear your opinion because they kind of know what they're going for and what they're trying to target. But I must say, these vendors that was in this event, they definitely paid attention, and I appreciate all you guys. Amen is a thread company, and they came through, our new thread company, I should say. I hope I'm saying it right. Amen. Dan and Hector, greatly appreciate you guys. Wes. Bella Canvas was in the building. And I ran into Wes several times, previously before this event, at several other events. Craftable Things, Epson is so over us converting these printers. That they are. Let's talk about that for a minute. So, they made some valid points, and which I think Epson is looking at it like we're tarnishing the name, especially if you're converting this Epson printer and then it says Epson right across on the front of the printer. It's almost like giving a bad vibe, especially when people are saying the printers aren't lasting as long as they should be. Well, that Epson printer wasn't developed to be doing the prints that we're doing, like the L1800. I don't know all the information on it, but Jason,
Yeah.
you did the L1800 conversion. Um,
They don't
and
make them anymore.
they don't make them anymore. Yeah, they discontinued them, right?
Yeah.
They discontinued the whole
Are they
printer.
mad about sublimation printers?
No,
I heard they
I mean, but I would guess just converting any of their printers, especially when they make a printer that actually does
What are they
that.
complaining that they're selling millions a year? Because nobody's buying regular printers anymore.
No, what they were more upset was just the conversion period, and then having their name on the machine. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're going
They
through
can't
the
be that
list.
upset when everybody get out of here.
I'm telling you, they said something to us about it. So most of you guys
They're
don't.
lying because all those sublimation printers people are buying.
Yeah, so Craftable Things just confirmed on here. She was like, yeah, they are mostly upset about the sublimation conversions. So they're feeling a sort of way more about sublimation than direct to film. That's what you're saying, right? They are pissed about it. Oh, we can't be doing this to Shaq.
How it doesn't make any sense. They're selling millions and millions of printers. Like they
Uh.
sell, but nobody's. How many people are buying printers for normal business use? 10% of what they would be selling. There's no way.
I guess if they
You're just
mostly sublimation, it's not even direct to film. It's just mostly or direct to garment or direct to film.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus, that they're upset about.
That's why they're selling so many printers, though. They wouldn't even be at that function if it wasn't for that.
That's true. Well, Epson is a big name,
But they
and you
wouldn't-
have to use their print head to do any of this.
I guess in the DTF world, but before that,
You know,
they would just be who does the sublimation printers?
Epson doesn't.
No, the other ones.
You're talking about
Who does the actual sublimation printers?
Epson's the only one on Sawgrass. Yeah.
You know,
Thank
I
you,
guess
Craftable
Epson does
Things.
have a sublimation printer now, but
Yeah. Which Sawgrass was in the building also
But
at the
there's-
Wallapalooza. Shout out
there's
to
no
you.
way they can be that mad about it because how many printers are selling. I don't believe it for a second.
They made it more than clear.
And I would say they're full too.
They're having most problems in getting a bad rep because people are complaining about them. Which that's not their fault. I don't know how Epson can take the blame, but I guess if the name is on the printer and then it's being converted and people are bashing the printer because they converted it wrong or it's not working properly, then I can see how that inadvertently could mess with the name of Epson. So to those that's out there converting, I don't know if you're watching this in real time or if this is a replay. I would save the coins. I hadn't even jumped into direct to film because I wasn't about to convert a printer. I wasn't going to rely on a converted printer. I've seen a lot of success and I've seen a lot of horror stories. I couldn't imagine having an $8,000 order and not being able to complete it because my print head went out on a converted Epson. But so the same could be said about the 7720s when people were sublimating or making them into sublimation machines. We're not removing pins or rollers or anything for sublimation, but ultimately it could still have a bad rep. I use my 7720 for the whole time I've been printing, up until now. And then now we have the EcoTank 1500 or 15,000 up there, which is a sublimation printer. Epson has two sublimation printers. They need a middle ground. Let me see. Agreed, Blard. Epson doesn't make money on direct to film. When direct to film first came out, popular, only unsupported printers was capable on DTF. See, this is a whole new lane for me. So we ended up actually getting a professional printer here that does direct to film. And that's causing enough issue, let alone having something that's converted. That thing back there. You see it?
So what I did was, the thing I did was one color adjust. In like
So Sawgrass is cool.
And the yellow of the 10, just to see if that would do something.
I missed your comment bar. Let me read it. Sounds to me like Epson needs to step up and produce a DTF printer and sublimation printer. Obviously, there is a need. So I'm gonna say with that, I think the cost, and especially people that's getting into this industry that want to do at-home prints and possibly turn a profit. You know, you may not have the $2,000 or the $3,000 or the $3,500 or the 45, whatever it is, to get this printer and actually get started. And that's where the issue lies, and that's why all of these conversions is coming into place. Because if I think it was like the 1430. I seen people actually changing the 1430 before it started with all these other printers, and that printer was for printing like the sheets for screen printers. It wasn't made to actually do direct to film. All I know is I seen the maintenance that was involved with it, and it was enough to turn me away. I know I'll be leaving sometimes, and like I said, I would hate to convert something this week and have it printing this week for next week and not to be printing, and I have to replace something that costs $1,000. The print head being basically what I'm talking about. Barb, I read Epson will stop selling laser printers by 2026 and switch fully to more inkjet printers. I believe all of this stuff is going to be a deterrent for people to actually buy the cheaper printers and change them around. But in the same breath, and which I'm going to bring up when we do bring Epson on the show, maybe a more affordable printer. Now, $1,000 for, or not, it's not even $1,000. I think the lowest price one that I've seen is the A3, if I'm not mistaken. It may be one that's a little bit cheaper, but that starts at $3,500. Most people are going to have to wait to their income tax check or to they save enough coins to actually get one of these machines. I just got some whack DTF prints. I paid for some prints that I have to throw away. Ooh. Who did you get the print from, Andre? I see why people tripping about people selling prints and don't know what they are doing. Hence the reason I waited so long. I'm still an infant, and I claim not to know anything about these printers. So any videos that I'm about to drop is going to be pure learning curve. My ups and downs with the actual printer. But I've gotten a few trash prints, so I can relate. I got some under-cured prints. I got some prints where my colors just wasn't right. I got some prints that wouldn't even come off when I was pressing them, and I don't know what it was due to, because usually my pressure is that SUPACOLOR pressure, which is super firm. But you buy an industrial printer, and from my experience with just pressing them, because that's all I have is the experience in pressing them, that cure is everything on the back. The colors is everything. The inks that you use is everything. You see that gloss on that? It's cured. It went right through the machine. So even dialing in the colors on these machines is pretty tricky, and it requires like a professional. So I've been waiting for a while to do a review on that over there. However, we keep having issues with it, so I don't want to get on there and start bashing the machine. And it's not me that's controlling the direct to film process. It's actually Jason. He's been doing this. I'm not going to air them out right now. I don't blame you. I'm going to see if they take some time and try to correct themselves. That's the best thing to do. I feel you, Andre, on that. So I got everybody on here, or a few of you guys on here. About a month or two ago, I did purchase some shirts, and I left everybody on the cliffhanger. I really didn't say anything about the shirts because I didn't want to bash the guy that sold me the shirts. He tried to correct the situation and was still messed up. And I'm saying this in reference to what Andre was saying. A lot of these people that are pushing their product or starting their products, or some people care, some people don't care, some people listen to the feedback, some people don't listen to the feedback. But at the end of the day, we as the influencer, we as the people that's actually pushing these different products, whether we like it or not. Kind of got to watch what you say. It could be detrimental to somebody. Nice display. Micro transfers. I have mine in a drawer. So these were just recently printed, and I'm pretty sure they'll go pretty quick. But the humidity is on point in here. Everything to protect these transfers is where it's supposed to be. Wish this was full. It's just they're gonna go through these prints really quick. But yeah, direct to film and all of that is still a new process to us, even though it came out thousands of years ago. It seems like, because I hear a lot of people say direct to film came out forever ago. They just couldn't perfect it. It's still not perfected. And with anything that comes out and comes out again, it's going to be many different layers to perfect it. There we go. So I'm not bashing DTF at all. I don't want nobody to think that I am bashing DTF or saying anything negative about it. I personally don't know enough about it to just talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So I always say that as I'm speaking on it. I'm going basically off of what I've used and what I've done with it. I'm going to get back to the Wallapalooza event. But it was a great sidebar. Like I said, I can't wait to speak with Epson. Maybe have you guys come on and ask some questions. I will get the date out a little bit earlier so you guys can actually have some time to get your questions together when we do go live with them. What's your turnaround time when it comes to the DTF orders? We print right now and getting them out right now. But as with anything, I'm gonna say 1 to 2 weeks, just because I have to have that leeway time, and you never know. These machines, even though that's the industrial and the big one, they're still temperamental. They still require a lot of hands-on. I know Jason comes in and does probably like an hour, I want to say a half hour to an hour maintenance before he's even printing. And that's every day. You have to find that comfortable workflow and that stride with it. So a good person, Merch Studios. Or a t-shirt buddy. Those are awesome options. Also A-Dub. A-Dub is into it, and his turnarounds is very fast. But you want to get somebody that actually know what they're doing, that's actually been through it already, then had the arguments, the breakups with the machine, and then came back to it, if that makes sense. Because they know what they're doing. They know how they're working the machine.
My hands are kind of cold. My color, my head is kind of cold.
So I would like to try one from DTF Station, as I spoke earlier. They got the A3 Prestige, I believe, and that's like a single print. It's not going to do 1,000 prints, but it'll do enough prints, especially if you're doing something that's in-house. If you're making a couple shirts in-house. What was that? How did you get it to do that?
I hit default settings. It still didn't. No, it still didn't work. And then another minute later, then it started working. What was you guys?
See what I'm saying? These machines are pretty tricky, temperamental, at best. The humidity has to be right. The person operating has to be right. You gotta know. You gotta catch it when it's messing up right away. If not, it can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
The A3 is discontinued from DTF Station. I just seen it. I might be saying. I know it's the Prestige. Forgive me if the number is wrong. It's the Prestige brand. A3. Okay. So what else, guys, did we get from the event? Because I'm glad you guys came on. I had somebody to back me up as I was talking about this event. And you guys know Craftable Things. Please go like, comment, and subscribe. Follow. Head over to Andre Glenn. You know, this is one big happy family, so we go back to each other's channel and like, comment, and subscribe. And any information is valuable to everyone.
they're all stupid quick fixes if they would just help you.
Another interesting point that we had at this Wallapalooza, that copyright and that trademark conversation was something special. There was a lot of gems dropped in there, and I'm glad that I recorded. I actually dropped it again today, the live that I got from there, but it was nothing like being in there. And then at the end, the question and answers from them, the answers to the best of their capabilities, but the influencers that was there with me were asking all the right questions. A3 plus R. This is what he said is discontinued. A3 refers to the size it can print. Got you. See, I'm getting educated while we on here. Thank you, Craftable Things. You saw the A4. Okay. See, it's so many different numbers. There's so much going on. That's why I'm taking the time to hopefully learn with this industrial printer back here. 3300. But it's every day there's some type of extreme maintenance. Are they going to A3 plus? And what is R? Great question. I'm gonna have to ask Vince when he comes on. R is roll. Okay. See, Craftable Things got you covered, you know.
Under color layer.
Let's go and see what's going on. Try to get this.
Color layer, okay.
I'm trying to adjust these colors for about 2.5 hours, so this isn't the right color. It's a little bit darker. But all of this,
So it's color layer,
it's a lot.
layer profile, processing options, printer options.
More than me, Patrice.
That one there.
We don't know anything. You know enough. Shoot, I don't know anything. Newborn. When I say newborn, I'm talking about I ain't crying yet on that machine. All I know is I've been pressing. Which the press is coming out great when it's printing, but it's those unseen underlying issues that be going on. And you're trying to adjust the color now?
Yeah. Because everything's changed now since I met her. So I changed the color.
Wow.
So we go under copies.
Shout out to T-shirt buddy once again. Guy deserves a fat check. It's been helping. So while I'm on here, what would you guys like to see more from me as far as content goes? So I can get it to you.
Where are you at?
Like, is there anything in particular you guys would like to talk about, or like for me to talk about?
Where to go from
Do that. We'll actually relook at everything I got.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Here's the greeting cards right here. This is the merch from the swag bag that I'm showing you guys.
Yes.
Silky socks. Lanyards. This compass book that I was telling you guys about. With that quote.
Processing option, printer option, yes.
Slaplet or whatever this thing is, it goes across your your wrist. Bella canvas pants. My camera people aren't here neither. I gotta get my daughter back in here. She's back from college and she's not trying to do anything. And school's about to start, so having my sons here, they're not trying to do anything as well. They're like, Dad, it's summer. I'm like, it's the end of summer. It's time to get back to work. Barb comment. A3 plus paper has width of 12.95, 329 millimeters, and height of 1902, 483 millimeters. I use DTF film that size. Sheets, my fault, I'm reading all over the place. Sheets on one of the DTF printers and roll on the other. So Barb, you know more than me. Way more than me. We definitely got to get you on, Barb.
I don't care what one you want.
Let me get a top 5 HTV list for my tees. Top 5, the brands are the ones that I just use, or the textures, what in particular. Cause I'm gonna tell you who I rock with. But I'm starting to become a little bit of bias. I'm gonna be rocking with some of Caesar stuff.
1947.
Barb knows a lot. I'm always learning from her. She does know a lot. Shout out to you, Barb. Greatly appreciate you. So a top 5 for me, and we're gonna go with these just are gonna be Kano. He sells all types of Caesar. Black and white, of course. Can't go wrong with black and white. You need black and white for every shirt, it seems like, either in one way or another. And that's the original Econo V. But I will also say black and white Econo Stretch for the sports jerseys. If you guys haven't used it, you need to try it out. I'm just gonna pull them up. I haven't been doing a lot of HTV recently. I've been doing a lot of prints. So these two, regular Econo HTV, definitely at the top of the list. And like I said, the stretch version, definitely at the top of the list. My next one will have to be just reflective. A lot of jerseys and a lot of workers that come in off the street, like safety workers, they like this reflective, which my camera is not reflecting right now. Hold on. I guess you can't even really see the sparkles. I guess there's a difference between having an Android and an iPhone. And right now I'm on my Android. So that's number 3. Any color of the reflective. I got orange and I got that purple back there. Number 4, which should have been number 1. I don't know why I'm saying it as number 4. Very popular. Right here. Multi-galaxy stripe. This goes without saying. You use this for birthdays. You could use this just to highlight, make a nice shirt. Anything you can imagine with this. And that sparkle in there drives people crazy.
See that file? My file?
Number 5. Number 5. I'm gonna have to say my Royal. And there's no glitters in there, but I'm gonna say the Royal. I use a lot of this right here. Andre, to me, these are my top 5 right here. These are the ones that I get to use the most. Now I do have several rows, and y'all ain't put together. Y'all forgive me down there. It's a whole mess. And this ain't even all the stash. I got vinyl everywhere. But for me, those are the top ones that do, you know, that I use regularly. But as of the last 2 weeks or right before the Wallapalooza event, I haven't been using any HTV. Everything's been being printed off of that printer, or I've been getting transfers from SUPACOLOR and pressing them. So as most of you guys know, I have the Rocker Stock event that's August 3rd, and I'm actually sending the artwork. Most of the artwork was sent to SUPACOLOR. Shout out to Creator Surge. He came through and blessed me with a couple of remakes on logos. Not thought. What's going on, Bar? What's taught? Not thought. Okay. Oh, I like the shiny rainbow. The royal blue is pretty. Yeah, Econos, those colors are popping. And that royal blue is like, it got like a different hit of blue to it once you hit it in the sunlight. It's off the hook.
You understand what that managed spot colors and what they like? You understand?
What's going on, Sketches Design? How are you doing?
Color replacement, spot colors.
Just went through the swag bag that I got from Wallapalooza and getting ready to edit these videos. Y'all got so many videos to edit. I've been slacking on the videos. That's why you've been seeing a lot of lives. But the original question, what more content would you guys like to see from me? I'm open to suggestions. I want to make sure that I'm giving value, real information out here. It's interesting that I just now seeing this right here. That's all. Looks like a vinyl option. Yeah, I have several vinyl options, and that's how I started in this industry, is with vinyl. I don't think I'll ever leave it alone. There's so many different vinyls out there. I don't think that any print method can ultimately dismantle vinyl. Yeah, they have the puff screen print. Yes, they have the, the direct-to-film that could do all the look-alike textures, but when it comes down to it, that flock feel, you can't get that through DTF. In my experience, I haven't found any DTF out there that feels like flock, for instance. What's another one? The carbon fiber, it kind of looks close, but it doesn't give that feel. I have carbon fiber vinyl, and it has that feel and it has that real look, like something that you would put on a car. I don't think that could be capitalized off of a DTF printer. Now there's lookalikes like the embroidery and the rhinestone, but ultimately the embroidery look, you can get twill vinyl and sublimate, and it looks a little bit more real than the printed version, if that makes any sense. And the rhinestones ain't never gonna be replaced. Ain't no vinyl rhinestone out there that can make, rhinestones disappear. These are the other print methods that I'm talking about. We actually have one of the bling queens on herself, craftable things. So that's a question to you guys. How do you guys feel about that? A lot of people said vinyl is dead and it's going to be dead here in the next few years. Some of your basic colors, yes, because you don't have to weed. You already have an image that has like 17 or 18 different colors on it. No one's going to take the time to weed those different vinyls. Now when you could just print it out and press it onto a shirt, a canvas tote, onto a car, onto whatever it is. But some of the actual, like glitter, I've seen the glitter DTF, and it's no knock and it's no shade towards it. I don't think it has that real glitter feel or look to it. I say keep the content real. Too much fake shit out here on the internet. I try. Not watered down. I try to bring you along with me as I go on these journeys, and I try to speak on only the stuff that I do know. I don't pump out watered down content. I don't pump out nothing that I don't know about. Like I just told you guys, I'm a newborn to DTF, and you guys been hearing me say since the beginning of DTF, I didn't know about how I was gonna get into it. But my printer over there, I'm learning through the situations he's going through by being here, by being able to print, by seeing the daily maintenance. I agree with you, James. Vinyl is not going anywhere. A lot of people would beg to differ, though. HTV won't be going anywhere. Yes, Barb, I agree with you. I use it a lot, especially with spiritware. Me too. That's like the #1 thing. And it's just something, to me, I like the cutting out process and I like the weeding, but not everybody likes that. And that's what they're using right now at the pinnacle is DTF. Well, there's no weeding. You don't have to layer 30,000 colors. because it can just be printed out. Yeah, but some people enjoy that. I've done 300 shirts weeding vinyl. I've done 500 shirts weeding vinyl. I just turn the music on and get busy. Yeah, it's a lot of cutting. It's a lot of labor-intensive work, but you get done. Appreciate that, James. Yes, if you would like to purchase any of the vinyls or any of the DTF prints I just showed you guys, head on over to vinylsupplyunlimited.com. Turnarounds is pretty quick. Thank you, James. Greatly appreciate you. By supporting the vinylsupplyunlimited.com, you guys are supporting me. And Jason. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I don't think vinyl will ever go anywhere. Will ever go away. Reading it half tilted, y'all. Sketches to design, I agree with you wholeheartedly. All of these new methods that's coming into play, ultimately go hand in hand with the next print method. I don't think one's greater or lesser than the other, if that makes sense. So how you like working with transfers? I love it. I'm used to working with, like I said, SUPACOLor. So I've been getting transfers for the last, 3 years, 4 years. And transfers help me a lot. Especially when I got to get a job done that's like 1,000 pieces, 300 pieces, 500 pieces. You kind of want to. If I had to do it all with vinyl, I would do it happily with no problem. And that's the problem which a lot of people speaking on are saying that's too much work. I couldn't do it. I'm like, well, this print method may not be for you. I guess the same could be said if you're a screen printer. A lot of times you gotta sit there and register screen printing. Is that your you know it is. Am I pixelated on here?
But is every scene gonna be like that, bro?
I should have went live on this. But this is about to die, and I was recording a film with this, so I happily use my Android. I would use my daggone computer, but it would keep saying reconnecting. To be honest, the DTF hype train is coming down. I see a lot of people trying to push white toner instead. Shout out to Cryo. RJ, am I saying that right? Cryo? I haven't got into that, but I would love to get into white toner printing. Some say it's a variation of direct-to-film printing. I think that's just another means to add to the arsenal. It's another form of printing. So a lot of people that's coming out with these machines, they bash other print methods to help their machine look better. It ain't gonna happen for me. I'll tell you straight up. Now, is there easier ways to get the job done? Of course. And some people would say, why would I spend all that time doing this when I can just print and play with this over here? It all falls down to the actual person that's working with it. They all have their place and work for different people. That part, James. That part. And it was a hype train. A super hype train. DTF hype train been escalating with a slow crawl midway through the COVID-19. But then after COVID-19, it started to escalate and go higher and higher and higher. But it's just like the sublimation. Because sublimation was right before DTF. If you guys remember, 2019 into 2020, everyone was talking about sublimation. A lot of people was coming with their sublimation papers, inks, and sublimation papers and inks. And different ways that you could use it. Well, we open. We can talk. All right? Is that? We open. We can don't like. Yeah, this is my family though. Huh? This is my family though. They don't care. The family don't care, right? Sketches to Designs agreed. They want to hype up their business. Yes. And you know, that's like with anything though. You know, when a new bread company brings out a new loaf of bread, they point out all the flaws in Wonder Bread. That makes sense. Or the generic bread. To say that their bread is going to last longer, be fresher. I'm just using that, y'all. But that's just how it is. Barb, All the printer mediums have pros and cons. Yes. You know what? This DTF stuff is too inconsistent. That's the one thing about direct-to-film that I can't say. Everybody's machine varies, and there's no one supreme machine that everyone's talking about yet. And that's what we're trying to get to, that one supreme machine that everyone's talking about and using, and it's reliable, and it's the maintenance is about 20 to 30 minutes instead of an hour to an hour and a half, and the print flow is going. But once again, that goes into, so that even goes back to the conversation that we had before I got to the end of this video, in which Andre had spoke on. He got some crappy prints. We don't know where them prints came from. Now, the person may have had a converted printer, or they could have been using an industrial printer that just didn't know how to use it. But not all DTF is created equal. Like not all vinyl is created equal. Like not all screen printing machines and presses are not created equal. Now, I believe in 10 years, if this is still going and being a name, the topic or the conversation, it'll be a lot better. But right now, it's just a stepping ladder. I can't say we at the top of it, nor we at the bottom. Sketches to designs, just everything has pros and cons. You have to work with that. Best for the job, work with what's best for the job, and that you have access to. That part, that's sketches to designs. Customs journey, in my opinion, it's not the machine, it's the knowledge of the printer and the systems they set up. That part. Andre. In this case, it was an industrial printer. Dang. Hold on. They gave you some jacked up prints off of an industrial printer. No, that's operator error. I gotta assume that's operator error. What type of printer was it, Andre? It wasn't this, was it? The 3300.
Watch what I'm gonna do here.
It's a lot of different, you know.
Earlier what I was doing.
It's a million different settings in these machines. You almost have to mess up and go through the pains, the growing pains with the machine to actually know the machine. Barb says, exactly, James. Know your printer and learn the software. That's what I'm speaking to right now. You gotta learn that machine. You gotta cry with that machine. You gotta coddle that machine. And then once you start coddling that machine and you just getting ready to throw it away, you learn everything about it because you done went through it with that machine. Now you're printing $1 million prints. Yes, it was a big green DTF printer. Big green direct-to-film printer. Green? I don't know who's green. The only green ones I know is Rock. I don't think they have, they may have a DTF. I'm not too sure. But even with that, I'm going to say, just off the strength, the operator error. If you don't know that machine, you can't print properly with it. You can have a big, fancy, pretty machine, but if you don't know how to operate it, it's just as useless as an L1800 that ain't printing right. But that makes sense. I make the mistake so you don't have to. That part. So you're going to see a lot of that. Actually, there's a video where it was nothing but mistakes back to back to back to back to back to back. Which is going to be on my members channel. So you guys, please consider subscribing to my members only channel. You get to see a lot more content and footage that's not out to the public. I am hands-on learner. I learn from mistakes and move forward. That part, that speaks back into what I was saying. Like, you have to actually, you got to go through it with this stuff. Think about when you first learned how to ride a bike, or when you first learned how to drive a car, when you, I mean, anything that you became great in, it was some trial and error to it. Trust me. You cried before you was like, yay. And it's very rare that you actually get the machine and know exactly what to do with it and have it printing and like, I mean, the Silhouette Cameo is giving people the blues. I'm pretty sure the Cricut is giving people the blues. The new venture that just came out is giving people the blues. The Romeo is giving people the blues. But once they learn and figure out that program and how to use it properly, they're making profit. They're not losing money. They're not losing time. Wasting time.
I would have changed that profile and then did it. That's what it was. It's like it changed drastically.
Eureka, do we got some? Let's see how this is coming along real quick.
Well, I just get about a line.
Trying to dial in these colors for this particular job. This is a very expensive job right here. The image looks crispy, but the issue is the color. It's too dark.
So you think like, so when I did it, I changed all 4.
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street. That's what I like to call it. The biggest problem I've seen with DTF is being consistent and color accuracy. And if you print for others, that's another, that is another can of worms. So that's another issue. The color profiles and how it's going to come out. To me, everything that's coming out looks crispy. But if it's a school logo or if it's something like, you know, you want this blue, you don't want it to be light blue. You don't want it to be off. You don't want the blue that's on the sublimation cup. You want that blue. But the blue on the sublimation cup is what's printing. That's the issue. A lot of the times. Barb, what software do you use for your DTF? Are you using AcroRip, CADLink? That's another thing I want to ask people. I want to take a survey on that. Like, is there a universal program for direct-to-film that goes across the board?
What do you do about your white crayons? Just put them all off? So you want to change your color for a head. Can you just change your color for a head?
I use CADLink for DTF and my white toner printer. So use it for both. So white toner and DTF are the same, Barb, in your opinion, or are they different? Unless they give you the exact color number, there's no way. That's true. But how many people know the exact color number? Like, if I'm submitting prints, I'm not going to know a color. I'm trying to think from the beginner or to a person that's just submitting something off of a website. Or, you know, like, how would they know what color number to use or what color number to actually put in? Most of the times, people just upload onto the website what color they think it is. And
I changed it earlier. It worked for
hopefully it prints that color, but sometimes that color can be a little bit neon looking or a little bit fluorescent looking or a little bit darker or a little bit lighter.
So I know it is CADLink, unrefined.
See, y'all helping me with the questions that I'm gonna have for these companies that push DTF printers and some of the things that could be done. What was that, Ruben? James, how did you find out what your color numbers was? So with sublimation, you don't really have those issues. You could kind of see it if you don't put a profile color in. You can see them. Back a while ago, there was a debate with, I think it was Cosmos Inc. and the color profile. Those are a lot easier to adjust.
Alright, see now it's gonna print. Yeah, now I hit the hole, but it was print. Yeah, it'll print now. So as soon as I change it, that's when that messed up. So our only options are is just doing this color adjust.
Use Pantones. I have a swatch color. Or I have a swatch book. Also Photoshop or Illustrator show the Pantone RGB and YMCK.
That's fine, that's fine.
This is stuck together, but we did print the color swatch earlier on here to try to get these colors right. But now we got a professional on the phone. What's gonna help?
Yeah. Let's do it. What are you working right now?
So let me speak on something else. A lot of these companies that's coming out now, everyone's into consumables. All the companies that you know and love is all going to have the same stuff for DTF that they do, you know, as far as any other print method. Barbara's spot on. I do the same. Alright, use Pantones. I have a swatch. I screenshot it. We're going to use that. Experiment with that.
This is the stuff they don't want to send you.
Uh-oh.
What else can you do from here then, good? What else do you do from here?
I print color swatches through the cat print software to test. Is that what this one was from? I think this is from there. Yeah, this is a cat link. This is that. It ain't gonna help because I didn't press the film together, but CAD link 2x spot swatch. A lot of attention to detail when getting into direct to film printing in these industrial machines. It's a lot. It's not something you could just pick up and say, hey, I'm gonna start tomorrow. You won't start till 2 months from now. You'll be upset.
Same file. You can go get that file up.
Thank God we have someone that's been helping. That's another thing. It's so new that the companies aren't helping with the information, if that makes any sense. You call in the companies and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to help you. Because it's a brand new machine.
Right.
And it's not like they're pushing the machine for folks to buy. They're not telling you about all the preceding circumstances you're about to go through. I also calibrate my monitor. That helps too. I'm getting some real gems. Appreciate you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going back through the comments to make sure I didn't miss anybody.
It's a little bit of
I might just press me a shirt. Well, guys, I came on and showed you my swag bag from Wallapalooza 2023. I'm looking forward to Wallapalooza 2024. Bring you guys great content. As always, I'm going to still keep it real. Whether I'm making a mistake, what I'm going through. James, you had something very pivotal when you said that. There's a lot of people on here that don't live the day in the life of a printer that has a lot of opinions and is just putting out shit that don't make no sense. Excuse me cursing. I try to avoid that at all costs. And I bring you guys on when I'm working a lot of the times, or if I'm even having issues. There's been plenty of videos I got on here been having issues. Even right down to my recorded ones. And that's where that term comes from. Thank you again, Sketches to Design. I'll make the mistake so you don't have to. If you watch me make the mistake, don't make the mistake, but watch me make it and learn from that so you don't make the mistake. You know, saving you a little bit of money, a little bit of time, a little bit of sanity. Barb, you can Pantone your thread colors also for embroidery. Lots of thread conversion sites. I have calibrated monitors also, James. Basically, it take a lot, but it's worth it. Getting it done. That was from Barb. But as with anything, like I've been saying, it's going to take time. Once you take the time to actually go through the headaches and go through the drive me crazy phase and actually learn that machine ins and outs and how to replace stuff, it becomes like second nature to you. A bit. But yeah, guys, I'm getting ready to get off of here. Shout out to Caesar. Shout out to DTF Station and Man Group. Good way to learn your software for sure. You have to go through the pitfalls and the stumbles, right? That's part of the game. Polytape, Supercolor, ISW, which is cryo. Greatly appreciate you. Sawgrass, Caesar, Deco Press. I haven't spoke a lot about Deco Press, but some videos are coming out soon over Deco Press. Deco Press is the patches that was on, well, one of the patches that was on here. These are sublimated patches, but this is a Deco patch right here. If you guys would be interested in that, head on over to decopress.com, check them out. Get your laser engraved leathers or faux leathers to make your hat stand out a little bit better. Or, you know, your locker tags, whatever it is. You got it to Royal?
I think it looks like a Royal.
You got it to Royal? Can I share the discovery?
What does that look like to you?
Yeah, that's definitely Royal. I don't know if this Samsung is doing it justice, y'all, but can you see the difference in the two between that one and that one? Let's see here. Sticky. That's it. This is it.
That's it. Yeah, I think that looks like the file that they sent. Well, I'll be.
Shout out to Ruben. Can we get a shout out, Ruben?
I mean, that actually looks like how the file is supposed to be.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, right?
Playing troubleshooting, like I said, guys. But that one problem can actually, that can hindrance you. $1,000 order, you don't want to mess that up. You don't want to print a lot. You have a monster for a printer. I don't have room for one. I'm trying to get another monster printer in here. That's number one. We need number 2 and 3 in here.
They'll be here.
So we can print. Me, I'm gonna be pressing. Superman pressing. Yeah, that there's a couple videos over this machine. That's the shaker right there, which we did took apart. It's not even put on. It's not took apart, but it's unplugged out the way. Yeah. That right there. This thing right here is a beast.
Man, come here, look.
Huge, humongous. Shout out to Heat Transfer Warehouse, though. That was the whole base of this video. And I would like to try that Prestige, the big boy, not the little ones. The little ones, okay, yeah. Yep. But the bigger ones, that's what we need. So hopefully you guys have a blessed, productive day, and thank you for taking this time to spend this hour and 13 minutes with me. Greatly appreciate you guys. Without you, there would be no Mike T's. To anybody on Team Replay, like I said, please consider becoming a member and get these free gems and this extra episodes that's probably never going to see the day of light on my regular channel, but I think you guys will find it of value. And with that being said, gotta get up out of here. Peace. Gotta get to work for real. Bye.